Right, my first victim is... What's your name?
In real life or in Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, real life.
Oh, I'm Stuart.
Real life.
Pleased to meet you. My name's Stuart.
Hello, Stuart. As the listeners will know, my name's Nathan, because I'm sure that would have been in the introduction before now, but otherwise I'm breaking the fourth wall here. Hello, Stuart. How are you? I don't know why I'm asking that. Let's cut that out.
Very well. I mean, we literally spoke at length yesterday evening, but, we can go through these pathetic niceties if you want.
No, let's not. Your name's Stuart. Who will you be playing on our wonderful adventure?
I should be playing Dweezil Vanzaphir, songs from the Sword Coast, the raconteur of Ravnica. I'm a half-elf bard.
Yeah, bard. Thank you for choosing a name like Vanzaphir. A very easy name for me to remember. That's going to be, I'm probably just going to call you Tweedledwee or something like that. That's a
brilliant
easier for me.
Brilliant.
Very simple. Why did you choose? Why did you choose a bard?
Partly because I was railroaded into it by friends who wanted to see me playing a bard. But I think there's a temptation in D&D to want to play an amplified version of yourself, or play something completely different to yourself. So I'm playing in two campaigns at the moment. One of them is the absolute opposite to who I am in real life, whereas I'd like to think that Dweezil is going to be a bit more like me, just turned up to 10.
Or 11.
Or 11.
Or 21.
Yeah.
What sets apart Dweezil from the other half-elves in the game? Does he have any physical attributes that make him stand out, or is he just run-of-the-mill?
Well, most half-elves, he doesn't feel 100% comfortable in either human or elf society. He's been brought up around humans and has affected certain human characteristics, physical characteristics. So Dweezil wears a beard, which elves can't do. So Dweezil, to set himself apart from his elvish brethren, wears I said brethren there rather than brethren. Like a bit of patois. Dweezil doesn't talk in patois. Stuart does. So he grows a beard to set himself apart from his elven brethren and to fit in more with the humans. But physically, a lot of his facial characteristics are incredibly elven. So he's got piercing, icy blue eyes, long dark hair, beautiful tan skin, slim, athletic body, essentially very much like myself.
Yep, including the beard.
Yeah, you can attest to that. I look exactly like the man I just described.
Absolutely. I mean, I had my eyes closed and all I could picture was you as you were describing it, so definitely on board with that. Give me a little bit more of Dweezil's background. What's he been doing with his life?
So Dweezil grew up around humans. He had a musical talent from an early age. Decided that he wanted to be a bard in the true sense of the word, as a performer, a teller of tales, and started on that journey. But found that he was too easily tempted by the other pleasures that are to be found in taverns. So pleasures of womenfolk, pleasures of ale. He got a bit of a penchant for certain fey fungi that can be found throughout the land, and instead of spending his time honing his craft as a bard, he spent his time getting off his face in taverns. Like I say, it's not all based on me. It's not all based on me. It's just very, very loosely. So he's
sometimes will be false.
Yeah, but he's always, even when he's been at his lowest points, he's always had that wit and that intelligence that shone through, and that has enabled him to basically just live off his charms, despite not really being a man of any substance, up until a period of time, maybe 6 months before our campaign will start, where Dweezil's life started to take a little bit of an upturn.
Nice, and we'll get into that in the story, I'm sure. Being a bard, he will be, and as you said, he loves the music. Does he have any instrument proficiencies? Where does he lean with his musical talent?
He's proficient in the drum, he's proficient in the horn, and he's proficient in the lute. His instrument of choice is very much the drum. Partly, I must admit that there's a little bit of trolling in there, because I thought, what would be the most annoying instrument for Dweezil to just go around making noise with? Just literally banging a drum like a child. So he's going to be banging a drum with a hope maybe to find some interesting magical drums somewhere along the line that can change his life for the better. And the lute, at the moment he doesn't have access to a horn, but if one were to present itself, he would be able to turn a tune on it, and of course singing as well.
Of course. I'm hoping that our listeners are going to be very much looking forward to hearing just random drum beats halfway through the podcast every now and again. I'm sure that's going to be a delight for the ears as you suddenly start hitting the skins. Speaking of magic items, I tasked you all with starting the game with a magic item, an uncommon magic item. What did you go for, and what was your thinking?
I've gone for a javelin of lightning. And my thinking was, it's just ridiculous. Like, it's for an uncommon magic item. It seems quite OP. It's limited, which draws it back in a little bit. But it can do some serious damage. And as a bard, I don't really have access to range damage, other than spells and magical items. So it's it essentially you chuck the javelin, and it does a 5 foot wide lightning bolt in a straight line in front of you, in between you and the target, and that lightning bolt does 4d6 damage to anyone who fails a dex save on it, and on a successful dex save it's half damage anyway. So if we can somehow get the goblins all in a nice neat line, perhaps we could try just tell them to line up, school teacher voice, all in a straight line, one behind the other. Lob the javelin, fry the goblins, job's a good one.
Goblins notorious for listening to orders and carrying them out in an orderly fashion. I think we all know that is their main attribute of a goblin. I mean that is fairly OP for a level 1 bard. Certainly not in keeping with the usual characteristics, but I guess it boosts an area that you're probably going to be somewhat weaker on. So it's worthwhile. I think it's nice to have something like that that's hopefully going to help you guys survive. Yeah. I think that's pretty much all I need to know about the character, unless there's anything else you want to tell me about good old Dweezil. Are you pretty happy with what you've put across there? I'm really, really excited to be playing this, to be fair. I've been sitting on this character now, like creating him and putting him together for maybe two or 3 months. So I feel like... Well, arguably 40 plus years.
Well, yeah.
If it's based on you.
Well, Dweezil's only 22 though, so I'm yet to roll the dice in anger with this character. I'm just really looking yet to roll the dice professionally, and I'm very very much looking forward to it.
Well, speaking of dice rolls and professional dice rolls at that, can you please get out your D6s, get out your Ds, if you will. Because we are going to roll some stats, my good friend. So, as you are aware, we need 4d6. And with each roll, you throw away the lowest number, and the remaining 3 will give you your ability skill number, which you can then turn into a modifier. What I'm going to be telling all of my players this evening is, if you have any rolls that are lower than 8 combined total, then I will allow you to re-roll them. However, for every dice that you re-roll, you will lose a point off of one of your other skills.
Ooh, that's kind of sounds evil. I didn't think you were this kind of DM, mate.
Well, I've got to be some sort of DM, haven't I? So that's your payoff. Is that if you can roll 1 dice if you wish. If you really want to just tweak it a little bit and roll 1 dice for the cost of 1 point, feel free. But let's
that, wouldn't you? Yeah.
I would love you to roll 1 dice. Yes. Let's go for it. Let's
right.
Let's go through it.
First set of dice. Charisma and dexterity are my two big ones, and I'm going to dump strength and wisdom. First roll gives me 4. It was 2 4s, a 6 and a 2, so we'll dump the 2 and we'll stick a 14 down there. I'll choose where that's going. Hopefully it won't be on my dex or charisma, because I'd like them to be big fat stats. But we'll see how we get on. Okay, second roll.
Imagine if that's your lowest one.
That is wonderful, because I've just rolled a 16. We're dumping a 3 there. So that's nice. 2 6s, a 4 and a 3. Let's have another roll. Oh, that's all right. 3 3s and a 4, which gives me a 10. That's not bad. If that was a dump, if one of my dump stats was a 10, I'd be in a good position.
You take
that. Dear. That is a 9. That is 2 1s, a 2 and a 6. So we'll dump a 1, and we've got a 9. Again, if that's a dump stat, it's not the end of the world, is it? Oh God, that's 7.
That's a 7. Oh, so we do have opportunity here.
Yeah.
So
I've rolled 5. I will
allow you to roll. Yep. Yeah.
Do I have to make my decision now about re-rolling that one, or?
Well, let's roll your last. Have you done all 6? Or was that just 5?
I've got one more to do.
Okay, one more.
Okay, we've got Wicked. That is a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. So that's a 15.
That's decent. So you've got the one opportunity to re-roll if you wish to, and yeah, I'm going to make you decide now. I'm going to put you on the spot. If you wish to, so that's a -2 you've got, I believe, with the 7.
Yeah.
So it's whether you want to stick with your -2 modifier, or whether you wish to re-roll as many of those 4 dice or none of them as you wish, and take a hit on one of the others. And I'll let you choose. I'll let you choose which one you take a hit on. So if you want to take your top one and take a point off of that, then you feel free. But if you want to reduce one of your other dump scores, then feel free to take off that as well.
Oh, so I had a 4 and 3 1s. No, I had a 5 and 2 1s. That was it.
You have to. What I will say though is you have to take whatever the next roll is. You can't. This is I'd
re-roll. I'd re-roll one of the 1s anyway, wouldn't I? If I decide to roll.
Yeah.
So I can afford to drop 1 point on one of my stats without a problem. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to re-roll one of my 1s to try and get a boost. Here we go. Not a 1, a 2. Oh, for crying out loud.
So you're at status quo essentially. You've at least raised that to a -1 rather than a -2. But I'll let you. Yeah. We don't need a decision as to which one you're going to drop at this point. But you do need to take one off of one of your other dexes, or one of your other rolls. Sorry.
That's fine.
I'll let you decide that in due course. I'm not going to hold you to that. So just status quo. What are the minus the ignoring the one that you're going to drop? What were your 6 rolls then?
My 6 rolls were 16, 15, 14, 10, 9, 8.
Okay.
I can tell you where I'm going to allocate them if you want.
No, that's fine. I don't think people need to. No, like you said, I mean, we all know that your 2 high scores, like you said, are going to be charisma and dex. So assume that, and feel free to play around with that in the next few weeks before we reconvene and get this shenaniganing.
Cool.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Dweezil, a.k.a. Stuart.
No worries, my man. I'm looking forward to playing.
As am I. Thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, hit the subscribe button on your favourite podcast app to ensure you don't miss any future instalments of Dice and Desire. And in the meantime, if you want to interact with us, come and find us on Twitter and Instagram @Dice and Desire.